choices and your favorites. This is the control system. Let me see. I've covered point one of all these pages. Will we ever get to it? So you're opting into the matrix, but are you really opting in? It's kind of like you opt in to go down to the river's edge to drink some water as a primitive man, and a big crocodile grabs you and drags you in and eats you. You opted in to go get water that looked good. You didn't see those two eyes right there. I'm telling you, there's crocodiles down there. I'm telling you, out here in the hill country, if you buy a house in the country, watch out for rattlesnakes. The realtors won't tell you about it. That's what I do. I warn my fellow humans because I have a tribal love of humanity. But see, the marketers, they love the fact that they're lying there in the water's edge with just their eyes and the tip of their nose popped up. So you think you're going into something fun. This is a scientific Pentagon assault on you and your family. So the control grid is a technological enslavement paradigm. And it's all standardized, all controlled, always being honed, being implemented in phases. And this is all stated by Internet 2 and RAND Corporation documents and MIT. They're all on record bragging about it. They're on power trips. There's these arrogant technocrats and there's psychologists, psychiatrists, controllers above them, and then the elites who make the decisions, who are very proud of how dumb the public is and how they've dumbed the public down further and how they use every human instinct to manipulate us and every human instinct against us to control us. Now, the end game of this is to have the false culture of the television and the different niche groups they're targeting integrate and then manifest on the ground, to have the delusions, the disinformation, and the paranoia and the lies manifest in the real three-dimensional world, not the two-dimensional television. That's why they're coming ahead with every major production firm, Industrial Light and Magic, DreamWorks, the group headed up by James Cameron, to go to holograms. And now they're introducing holograms on CNN to make the unreality even more real. So they want to highly control mobility. Mobility by having you watch TV instead of go play basketball. Mobility instead of having you spend time reading history books to your children so you'll watch your show, they watch their show. Mobility where you've got to have all the trinkets and crap so you're in debt to buy all the little trinkets they sell and all the gadgetry which controls you further. By federal law, all the cell phones track you down to a few feet with GPS triangulators off the cell towers. By law, they can listen to you even without a warrant and even when the phone is turned off. I told you that 12 years ago. Now it's mainstream news. I just point out, don't be in denial anymore. Remember all the things I talked about? We got to just get all the hundreds of old shows, video shows, TV shows. I didn't put them on the web. Some folks are doing that, but if you've got my shows, you watched me in Austin for years, just put them on the web, folks. Because slaves today have been incrementally taught to believe this and go along with it, but if they can see somebody telling them exactly what would happen 10, 12, 13, 14 years before, that has an effect on them. They sell you the image that guns are illegal through television. This is just one example of hundreds where everything is based in Chicago, LA, or New York, where they have highly restricted gun laws. So these dramas and cop shows are based there where people go to jail for having a gun. On these cop shows, the carpet cleaner sees a gun in the New York apartment. He calls the cops. Turns out the guy's a child molester. He deserves to have his gun taken. If you're a gun owner, you're a child molester is the message. And people are always right to call the cops on people and are heroes. And so somebody in Austin, Texas watches that show, NYPD Blue and all those other shows, and then now they call the cops on you when they see a gun case because they think guns are illegal. They think TV's real. One example, one small microcosm. And there's other ways that they do that. You know, the guy's a child molester. He owns guns. He also beats his wife, and he's ugly. You don't want guns. You don't want to be him. But the sharp, good-looking young cop, she's going to get him. And, she sits there and tortures him to get the answers to save the kids. And thank God that person ratted them out that they had a gun. It's just oh, yeah. See, it's just all for these weak-minded people to suck them into this. So they want to control your mobility with face scanning cameras and DMVs and everybody, car rentals, hotels, to get a job, to buy alcohol. Now, to use a credit card, they want to see your ID. Now they're swiping it. They have big consortium meetings saying they're getting people ready to thumb scan and biometrically face scan to buy and sell for identity theft because they know their cybersecurity rules and digitization of everything actually creates more of the theft. The government even admits that. But again, they create more of a crisis to offer more of their solution. And so they glorify all these tattletale squads. And you heard the guy earlier, and I've even seen their own documents where Walmart and Target really is another Pentagon front company. Their main business is actually security, surveillance cameras, data mining. Target stores are only one part of their division out of Minnesota. It's a Pentagon front. And they admit they're watching you, and if you grab your kid by the arm in the store, you'll wonder why cops are there and CPS is there 5 minutes later. They also get kickbacks of that money. Target gets a lot of money, so does Walmart. One of their main profit centers is that. USA Today reported 4 years ago that in a headline, scofflaws get caught ordering pizzas. The big three pizza companies that have over half the U.S. market and more were joining it at the time through a private Dallas consortium. Again, the globalists always privatize all their data mining and police state for their companies that nexus in with government so the private people out of government can then go into private industry and actually make money off the police state grid mandated by government. And the thing was that whenever you call to get a pizza, they know that's your real address and your real name. So when they're running your credit card name, that's run through a NCIC criminal police database. So instead of a pizza, you get a SWAT team. Now, that was 4 years ago. And they said they've been doing it for 3 years before that. So that's 7 years they've been doing that. You starting to understand the control grid here, ladies and gentlemen? Who's just in there going, whoa. Yeah, Google scofflaws ordering pizza. And then you'll get USA Today, and it'll explain. And that's just one I plug a lot every few months so people can look at that. I think that's particularly egregious for folks to understand it. Okay. When you buy stuff at Valero gas stations, they run your card for beer or cigarettes. They're going to phase it in everywhere for all products. That's run through a database. Everything, folks. It's all, yeah, there it is. Missouri tracks scofflaws via pizza delivery databases. And that's just an article about, I notice they always talk about it with one state to make people not get alarmed nationwide, introduce it. This is nationwide, you learn in the article. But to introduce it as it's only one area and not going on all over the place, they always say, oh, it's just a trial program. Oh, it's just the beginning. But you read here, they admit it's run out of Texas with the feds, it's nationwide. It's dinner time. You're hungry and tired, so you pick up the phone and order your favorite pizza. But you might have just landed yourself a lot more than pepperoni and cheese. If you owe fines, fees, or the courts, the phone call may have provided the link the state needed to track you down and make you pay. That's AP, and that was 2004, 4.5 years ago. There you have it. And again, there's thousands of this. It's just everything totally integrated. They admit it, not even me connecting the dots. It's all stated. And once the full grid's in place, you have more than one kid, they're going to come CPS the kid when it's born or abort them and blow your head off the next time. And they got devil dog cops ready to rock. I mean, it's just total hell is upon you, folks. You need to know that. The churches are going to tell you, lay down, that's the end of the world. But everybody's going to be here while this is happening, thinking it's the end of the world laying down. Now, remember, I told you this 13 years ago. I had state reps on 10 years ago, federal reps on 6, 7 years ago. And now it's been declassified. It's been all over the news that for 36 years worldwide in every IMF World Bank controlled country, from Russia to Australia to England to the United States to Germany, blood is taken at birth for 36 years. Globally, it started in an international secret agreement. Blood is taken and put in a DNA database and is sold to private biotech companies who then license and register your DNA type. So when you want gene therapy later, you got to pay them for your own blood. It's also used so they can frame you with the blood they take. It's also used so they can track you and so they can make race-specific bioweapons for you individually if they want. And they now admit for at least 10 years, they have laboratories that in one day can make a bioweapon which will only kill you. Or down to any subderivation or somebody that's 10% African from a certain area of Africa and a mix of Native American, they can kill you. Anything they want, they can kill you. They already have it. This is total full spectrum dominance, New World Order style. This is what they brag about. It's why it's so funny to them. They're going to orderly put in the control grid, and then they're just going to start the slaughtering. All the killing and cancer you've seen so far is just the beginning of the soft kill operation. Most of the cops, military listening, you're already dead. They've already implanted you. I mean, with the cancer viruses, which are hormonally, have hormonal fluctuation triggers, where when you have a certain hormonal fluctuation, on average around retirement, you'll be dead. And I'm sorry they murdered you. I'm sorry they've murdered most of us. But before we die from their soft kill attack, now that we're aware of it, we can do